Is screen visible, online students?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Now, Fibonacci sequence, or sometimes they call it as a Fibonacci series as well. Check the spelling of Fibonacci. Fibonacci. Okay, Fibonacci sequence is the first number of the Fibonacci sequence is 0. Second number of Fibonacci sequence is 1. Okay, first number is 0 and second number is 1. Now, the concept is that the third number can be calculated or obtained by adding previous two numbers. Okay, third number I have to get it here. As per the Fibonacci sequence, what the mathematician says that first and second numbers are 0 and 1 respectively, and the next number is sum of its previous two numbers. Okay, now what are the previous two numbers there? What is sum of those? 1. That is third number. Then, now I want to get, if I want to generate the next number here, again the same logic has to be applied. What is that? Sum of previous two numbers. What are the previous two numbers in this sequence? 1 and 1. What is sum? 2. Now tell me, what will be the next number? 3, 5, 8, 13. It goes infinitely. This type of a sequence is called Fibonacci sequence. Remember now, Fibonacci sequence means first number is 0, second number is 1, and the next numbers, consecutive numbers, are obtained by adding the previous two numbers. Okay, now read through this particular statement, program number 8 here. Print first n Fibonacci numbers. First n Fibonacci numbers means when you write a program and execute, it should ask you to enter a number. Okay, now suppose if you enter a number as a 3. Okay, if you enter the number as a 3, consider n is 3 here. Then what is the Fibonacci sequence? 0, 1, 1. N is, understand once again, n is number of elements in the sequence. Read the program statement here. Print first n Fibonacci numbers. See, this 0 is a Fibonacci number, 1 is Fibonacci number, the next one is also a Fibonacci number. You take any number here, all those are Fibonacci numbers. Okay, a collection of these, we call it to be a Fibonacci sequence. We want to generate first n Fibonacci numbers. Means, suppose if the number is 3, the Fibonacci sequence should have first number, second number, and third number, like 0, 1, 1 as the Fibonacci sequence. Suppose if the n value is 5, then what will be the Fibonacci sequence here? 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. Are they 5 in number? Yes. If it is a 10, then I should generate first 10 Fibonacci numbers in the sequence. Okay. Now, theoretically, now you understood how to calculate or how to generate the Fibonacci sequence. The constraint is that we have to start always with, we have to assume that 0 and 1 are always there with us, right? First Fibonacci number and second Fibonacci number are always with us. And whenever we enter enter a number is displayed, we have to display more than 2. We have to enter a number more than 2. Because first two are already existing, so we can only start creating from the third number onwards. If it is 3, n is 3, 0, 1, 1 should be displayed. If it is other than 3, the any greater number, then up to those particular numbers have to be displayed. Understood theoretical concept? Okay. Now, let us try to write a program for this one. This is a journal program number 8, section 1. Let me delete all these content. Now here we need to decide the number of variables. Okay. Now, obviously we need an input number, that is n. So let us take int n here. Pay attention, later you can write down. I will display the program later. N. Okay. Then since we are making use of a for loop here, or while loop or any loop we can make use of, but here in this program I will be using the for loop. So for the for loop I need a counter variable, right? So I will take that counter variable as I. Apart from that, what do you think? What are the other variables we require? One variable for storing the result. Result is what here? Sum of previous two numbers, right? So what he says, we need one variable to store the sum of the previous two numbers. Where those two previous numbers are stored? We should store those previous two numbers as well, right? Yes or no? So we need first two variables, like the first Fibonacci number and the second Fibonacci number. First Fibonacci number, what is the value? 0. Second Fibonacci number? 1. So my F0, I will denote it to be F0. Okay. Or let's say F1, better. F1 is 0. That is first Fibonacci number is 0. Then comma. Second Fibonacci number, that is F2, equals to 1, comma. Then I need to generate the next number, right? What will be the next number? Sum of the previous two numbers, which I will be calculating in the next statements. Okay. So F3, I will call it to be. Okay. Understood the variable declaration and the initial values, why we have updated as 0 and 1? Yes or no? Yes. Next is what? I have to display a statement to be enter a number. So print f, enter a number. Then next, scanf, percentage d, ampersand n. Next, once I read the numbers, next what I should do? I should just display a statement stating to be the first n Fibonacci numbers are, right? So I can have a printf statement here. Printf the first n. So I want to print the value of the n. Percentage d. First n Fibonacci numbers are, okay, slash n. So next line I will keep on printing those things. Double quote complete. What I should write here? N. Then semicolon. Okay. Now comes the interesting part here. How do I generate the Fibonacci, the next number, and how should I go into the loopings? Since I require a looping here, so let us write the for loop, like just the empty content, for. So what this for statement accepts? How many statements it will take? 3. What are those? Initialization. Yes, very good. Now initialization is what here? Counter variable. So counter variable I have to assign with what value? I have to generate the sequence here. I have to generate the sequence. See, this is the Fibonacci sequence, right? I have to generate the numbers from that. Among the entire sequence, what are the numbers already I know? How many are there? The next one is which number? 1. But is it the third number? Yes or no? The next number which I generate, is it the third number? So what is my initial value for counter? Let me put it once again. Now assume that I want to print first 5 Fibonacci numbers. Pay attention. Okay. I have to print first 5 Fibonacci numbers. I know my deadline here, the line last number I know, that is 5th Fibonacci number I have to get. But here the problem is that how do I identify the initial value for the for loop? Okay, now I also know that these are the first 5 Fibonacci numbers: 0, 1, 1, 2, and 3. Among these, how many numbers I know? 0, 1. That is how many? 2. From which number I should generate? Third number I should generate. Up to where? Fifth number. So what is my starting point for the looping? From third number up to fifth number I have to generate, right? So what is the initial value of the counter here? This is first number, this is second number, this is third number, this is fourth number, this is fifth number. Okay. So initialization and the condition I need to write here. Updation is very much simple here. It is incrementation, right? Now, initial value we are not able to understand here. But final value, do we know what is the final value? How many numbers we have to generate? 5 numbers I have to generate, right? Now you pay attention to these values here. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Don't look into the result here. That is, these numbers you don't look into. Just pay attention to these numbers. First number, second number, third number, fourth, and a fifth. Why? Because I have to print so many numbers. Whatever the number n value I enter, based upon that I have to print those things. Okay. Now, if the n value is 5, so I will generate up to fifth number. If n value is 10, I will generate up to 10th number, right? But the problem here is that what is the first number for the for loop, right? Question is, now among these, do I know first number? Do I know second number? Right? Next number is what? Third number. Is it readily available with me or should I calculate it? In where I am going to calculate it? Inside the loop, right? So inside the loop, I am going to calculate the third number. So what is the value of I? 3. Value for I is 3. Why 3? First already I know. Second already I know. So I have to start from the third number. So counter variable I value will be 3 here. So I will start from 3, okay, up to the condition is satisfied. Which condition is satisfied? I is greater than, less than or equal to 5. 5 is stored in which variable? N. Next, increment I plus plus. Understood this part? I don't want you to by heart the stuffs here. Like if a code is given, if it is a Fibonacci sequence for I equal to 3, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus, don't by heart. Understand and then write it. Okay, now. So now I have written the 3 statements for the for loop. Okay, now. Next is that I have to calculate the Fibonacci number, that is the next number. Which is the corresponding variable for that? To calculate the next number and store? F3. So F3 I have to calculate. So what will be the value of F3? F1 plus F2. See, so simple. Once I calculate the number, next what I should do? I have to print that number, correct? So before printing the third number, I should also print the first and second number. Yes. So the first and second number I will print over here. Like print F. Okay. First number, shall I directly write it as a F0? Sorry. Percentage D, whatever the value is there in F0. F0. This is the way actually we have, sorry, F1 cities. This is the way actually we have to write, but we can directly hard code this one and then write it as, I know the first number is what? 0. What is the second number? 1. Right? This way also I can write. But the more standard way is the previously what I had written. printf percentage d and then f1. Next time statement f2. Okay. Now here I have calculated the f3. Now I want to print what? f3, that is third number here. So print f, I want to print the f3. So percentage d, next line /n, double quote complete, then f3. Okay, I have calculated the first, that is next number, and then displayed it. Next is I++. So now I will become what? The next value, and it will compare with this condition. If it is true, it has to again calculate f3 and then print it. Okay, now pay attention and understand here. Okay, now first number 0, second number 1. So f3 we calculated and then we printed f3 as 1. 0 plus 1, 1. Right? Assume that condition is true. Next time I'm going to calculate again the next number. So here next number will be what? 2. How I will get? Previous two numbers. But if you look into the code, if f3 is equals to f1 plus f2, what will be the value? What is the value of f1 now? What is the value of f2? 1. So f1 plus f2 is what? 1. So f3 is again 1. If I do so, again it will print what? 1 only. Correct? Assume the condition is true, then it will come over here. Then again f3 gets calculated. So what will be f3 value again? 0 plus 1, again 1. But that is not our sequence, right? Right? If you observe it keenly, every time or every iteration, the f1 and f2 are getting changed. How? See here. First time, this is f1, this is f2. Correct? Then I will calculate f3 as f1 plus f2. This will become 1. Next time, what should be my f1? 1. What should be my f2? 1. Right? But what are the corresponding variables for those? Where is this f1 stored? Sorry, where is this particular 1 stored? f2. Where is this 1 stored? f3. This is f3. Next time, my f1 will be f2. Next time, now suppose now here I want to print the next number here. For this, what are the numbers? 1 plus 1 I should do. Yes or no? Where is this 1 stored? f2. But next time this f2 should be taken as f1. Correct? So the next statement what I should be writing is that now f1 should be equal to f2. Okay, that means now this became my f1. Correct? This is now my f1. Okay, then my f2 will be what? f3. So I have to write a statement. My f2 will be f3. So this will now become f2. Now tell me, if I repeat through the statements, what is the f1 value now? 1. f2 value? 1 plus 1? 2. Correct? Now next time again assume that condition is true. So assume these statements are also there. What will happen? My f1 will become this time this one. This one will become my f1 and f2 will become 2. Again, next time suppose I print the third number here. That is the next value is 3. Right? So next time when I want to print the numbers, my f1 will become 2 and f2 will become 3. So I need to write the corresponding statements to modify the values of the variables f1 and f2. So my f1 will become f2 and f2 will become f3. Okay, now first let us see whether we get the correct output or not. Okay, then we will go with the further discussion. Okay, let's open the prompt terminal here. This is 8. Okay, no errors. 0, 1, 1. I think we have not added the slash on there. So let us add a slash on here. 1 and 2 here. Okay, now clear, compile, execute. 5. How many numbers are there? 5 numbers. Are they Fibonacci numbers? Is it a sequence? Okay. Let us take a bigger number here. Say 10. Calculate and check. Correct? Yes? Now try to trace. Let us trace the program and then understand. Okay. Now, what I would want is that even online students as well as offline students, take out your notebook and try to write the values whenever I explain or trace the program there. Okay. Yes. Write the initial values as F1 is 0, F2 is 1, and F3 as empty. Don't write any value over there. Written. Okay. Now, just give it. On the right side here, draw a line, and in that portion you are going to write the print statements. So first time when you print, what number gets printed? Next time when the print statement executed, what gets printed? Those numbers you are going to write as the Fibonacci numbers. So just draw a line and then keep writing the numbers like that. Okay, now you take a number here, line number 8, it will display as enter a number. Then line number 10, you read that number and store into the variable n. Next, line number 12, just it displays first n Fibonacci numbers are that gets printed. After that, what gets printed? Printf 0. See, this can be again written as I said earlier in an elaborated sentence as well. Okay, so first 0 gets printed. Now on the right side, write 0. After that, 1. Okay. Then we have the looping statements. Now for the looping statements, draw the table properly. First, I equal to 3. Write the table like I equal to 3. Then next is what? Conditions. I less than or equal to n. Then after that, you have to understand the flow of execution. What is the flow of execution? If it will start from initialization, then condition. If condition is true, does it go into the I plus plus? No. It enters into the for loop, right? So in the for loop, what is first statement? F3 is equals to F1 plus F2. So this statement should be F3 is equals to F1 plus F2. Understood? Yes? Okay. After that, what is the next statement to be written there? Print is there, right? So you just write the print value. What you need to print? Which value you are printing here? F3. Just print F3. Then a column. After this, F1 is equals to F2. Then F2 is equals to F3. After this F2 is equals to F3, that is line number 22, where does the control go back to? Updation. Updation is what? I plus plus. Here I plus plus. This is the change how the way you need to trace the for loops. Usually what you will do is that initial value you write, condition you write, and immediately you will end up in writing the I plus plus. No. I plus plus will be executed after executing all the statements inside the for loop. If this is true, if this is condition is true, it will execute all these statements. Right? And once this I plus plus is done, it will come back and then again check for the condition. Okay? Now, continue writing in your table. Is condition true for the first time? So here in the next rows, here you write I value as 3. I value as 3. So for I value as 3, is condition true? Yes, right? Take the n value as 10. So 3 less than or equal to 10. Is it true? Yes. True means it has to get inside the loop. What is the first statement? F3 is equals to F1 plus F2. What are the values of F1 and F2? 0 and 1. So add them and get the F3 value. So right there, what will be F3 value? 1. Write in the table as 1. Then once it is done, what are we doing? Printing it. So on the other side you have written the another column, right? 0 and 1. After 0 and 1, what was printed? 1. Has anybody written? See what I said, like this is the tracing, and on the other side you just write the numbers, like what are the pattern gets printed. First time it prints 0, next 1 are already printed as per the line number 13 and 14. Right? After that, we are printing in the line number 19. So line number 19 now, what is the value gets printed? F3 value. What is the value of F3? 1. So next number is 1. Okay? Then after this, F1 will become F2. So whose value will get updated to which variable? F2's value will be updated to F1. What is F2 value? 1. So now 1 will become, our F1 will become 1. So if I write 1 row here completely, this condition is true. This is 1. We print 1 value and then our F1 will become 1. And what will be F2 equal to? 1. After that, I plus plus. That is 3 plus plus. That is 3 plus plus. So next time when the condition is checked, during that time I value will become what? 4. So in the next iteration, I value is 4. The condition here is true because 4 is less than or equal to 10. Then again what will be F3 now? F1 plus F2. What is F1? 1. What is F2? 1. 1 plus 1? 2. So you get F3 as 2. So print that value 2 here. Print that value 2. Next again update F1 and F2. F1 will become F2. What is F2 value? 1. F2 value is 1. What is F2? Now F2 is equals to F3. What is the value of F2? Sorry, F3's value is what? 2. So this will become 2. Next iteration 4 plus plus. So next time when the iteration is running, I value will become 5. Condition 5 less than or equal to 10. True. Right? Calculate the next value of F3. F1 plus F2. What are the F1 and F2 value? 1 and 2. So 1 plus 2, 3. 3 gets printed. So once 3 is calculated, print that value as 3 here. Okay. Then next, F1 is equals to F2. What is the value of F2? 2. So 2 will come here. F2 is equals to F3. What is the value of F3? 3. So this is 3. 5 plus plus. Next time when the I value is taken, I becomes 6. Condition will become true. What is F3 now? F1 plus F2. That is 5. Print that 5. Then F1 is equals to F2. What is the value of F2? 3. So that 3 will be F1. Okay. Next, F2 is F3. F3 value is what? 5. 3 plus 5. In the next value it gets calculated. Now I value is 6 plus. So 7. Condition is true. Calculate F3. 8. So you get 8 here. In this way, you keep on calculating the numbers up to the condition is true. Once this particular condition becomes false, it will skip the execution. By that time, it has already calculated the n given the n number of the Fibonacci numbers. Continue tracing it. Trace the entire program and check. Okay, online students, what you need to do is that you just need to make a table, right? Like this way. I will just show you here. Offline students, you just trace yourself. Okay, you make a table. First is, you make the 3 variables. First is F1. Before that, you can have n. Say n as 10. Okay, then F1. F1 value will be 0. F2 value will be 1. Okay, then next I equals to 3. That is there in the initial value. After that, make a column. Then next write I less than or equals to n. Right? If this condition is true, we will calculate F3 value. So the next column will be what? F3 equal to F1 plus F2. This is another column, third column. Fourth is that print that value of F3. Then next column is F1 equal to F2. Then F2 equal to F3. Then I plus plus. So in the initial value of I is 3. This condition is true. F3 will get calculated as 1. Then print that 1 value. F1 will become 1 and F2 will become 1. I plus plus, that is 3 plus plus. Next time the I becomes 4. Condition becomes true. So F3 value will be F1 plus F2. That is F1 is 1, F2 is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Print that 2 here. Then now F1 will become 1 and F2 will become 2. Then next 4 plus plus. Like this, you need to keep on repeating through. At what value of I the condition become false? 11. Right? At the I value, when I value become 11, the condition become false. That time, what was the F3 value? What was the last Fibonacci number gets generated there? 34. Right? Is that we get in the program when we execute it? Look at here. When the number was 10, is it same as what you have traced? Right? Understood? Any doubts? Online students, put in your attendance. Online students, enter your attendance. Okay, now here at this stage you say that you have understood this program, but if you don't repeat this exercise at home today, definitely you will forget this. So take a homework as take 2 different numbers and then try to trace the program once again and understand why we have written the code in which the for loop initial value is 3.